Goal kick to be taken by Stephen Mandanda. It's one of a number of games being played at the moment. The early games, by the way, it finished Lokomotiv Moscow 1, Bayern Munich 2, 0-0 between Shakhtar Donetsk and Inter Milan. And the games at 8 o'clock is Atalanta, Ajax, Atletico Madrid, Salzburg, Porto against Olympiacos. That's the other game in this group, of course. Liverpool against Midtjylland and Mönchengladbach against Real Madrid. Any goals going in those games, we'll let you know. But it's a long ball now, which Sterling is chasing down all the way to the edge of the area. Mandanda is out to claim that one, though, for the home side. And he's just waiting to see where his teammates position themselves. He thought about a short throw. Decides to punt it long this time, though, into the Manchester City half. And a good strong header there from Rodrigo, who's right underneath that one. The ball drops here towards Cuisance. He tries to head it forward as Marseille desperately trying to get a bit of possession here. The ball now rolled back towards Kaleta-Kar. A bit of a risky square ball there. It gets a deflection before it goes all the way back to the goalkeeper. He didn't want to take a chance because that was a pass from his own teammate, or at least a touch of his own teammate. Didn't want to take the chance there, the goalkeeper. So he just slams it out anywhere. It does get a bit of distance on it, but it goes out for a throw. Manchester City now back in possession on the halfway line with Ruben Diaz and Aymeric Laporte. Then playing a ball out towards the right-hand side, and he splits Gundogan and Walker exactly in between. The two of them were waiting for a pass down that right-hand side, but Laporte's pass goes exactly in between the two of them. So it is a throw to Marseille, a bouncing ball here, which Gonzalez has to deal with because it's been closed down here by Ferran Torres. And it's a loose ball. Marseille are making their own problems here. Twice they've given the ball away now. They just about get away with it and they clear it to the halfway line, but City are back in possession now with Ruben Diaz, and he's able to just control this ball for City before going out towards the left-hand side here for Oleg Zinchenko. Just holds the ball up under a bit of pressure there. Zinchenko going back towards Laporte. 5 minutes gone here at the Orange Velodrome, and it is goalless between Marseille and Manchester City. Out towards the right-hand side now for Kyle Walker into the Marseille half. Under a bit of pressure there, Walker just forced to send this ball back towards Ruben Diaz and Aymeric Laporte once again. As the visitors all back inside their own half, trying to flood the edge of their own area, making it as difficult as possible. Phil Foden now with his touch of the first touch of the ball. He goes back towards the halfway line. We'll be interested to see exactly how this City front line plays out this evening, because it does look, certainly on paper, I had Sterling as being the number 9. But it looks as though Sterling has started on the right, and it is Ferran Torres playing through the middle with Foden down the left. Here is Foden now at the edge of the area. He rolls that ball back towards Zinchenko, out towards Kevin De Bruyne on the left-hand side. De Bruyne then sending that ball back towards Laporte. Zinchenko again down the left-hand side. The ball gets a deflection, but that's going to stay in play here for Phil Foden, and he whips that in first time, and it's deflected a little bit awkwardly by Kamara in the end. But he does go out for a corner. It's just, I say it was awkward because the way he controlled it, it just seemed to sort of spray off his knee a little bit. I'm not sure he entirely knew where that ball was going to go, but it is out for a corner. Some more early pressure here from Manchester City, and standing over this corner kick now is Kevin De Bruyne. Whips it in towards the back post. He's aiming for Ruben Diaz, but that one's just got too much pace on it. Diaz chasing this one down towards the opposite corner flag. I think, has he got another corner? I don't think he has. I think he's trying to get a deflection of Mikhail Cuisance there, but it has gone out for a, well, I mean, I would say that's probably still come off Cuisance last. It's just that Ruben Diaz didn't quite make the connection with the ball that he would have wanted. I think it was probably could have still been a corner kick to Manchester City there. Just a goal kick though, and this gives the chance for Mandanda to try and save to try and send his players a bit further forward. Towards the halfway line. Now taken down, but City straight back into possession. Now it's ball played up towards the edge of the area. It doesn't quite get through towards Foden this time. And the ball is now back over on the left-hand side. A chance here now for Hiroki Sakai to move this ball forward. Japanese defender gets blocked though. It is out for a throw to Marseille. Chance here now for the home side to at least try and keep some possession and get the ball away from their own penalty area. Something they've not really managed to do so far early on in this game. Down the right-hand side there goes Radionjic, tries to play that ball through towards Tovan, but it's now back into Manchester City possession here with Ruben Diaz. Back across towards Aymeric Laporte. And now it's down to Phil Foden, down the left-hand side, square ball towards Rodrigo, almost caught in possession, but still gets it out towards Kyle Walker. He then threads the ball through towards Gundogan, takes it down to Sterling. It was on this right-hand side for the time being. Here is Raheem Sterling now taking on Q-Sounds for pace and getting away from getting all the way to the edge of the area. Just gets shoved off the ball there by Marvi, and he feels as though he might have been fouled in the build-up to that. Raheem Sterling, the German linesman, is not interested in that one though. It's just going to be a goal kick to Manchester City, but certainly the early signs, we are only 8.5 minutes into this game, independent of Tube Studio commentary, but certainly the early signs are that Manchester City are going to be dictating the play from the very start of this match, and it's just a case of how Marseille adapt to that. We've seen, certainly on paper, it looked as though it was going to be a 3-4-3 here for Marseille, but just thinking, is that not going to leave them a little bit too attack heavy, considering they're getting so little possession so far? They may need to get Thauvin or Q-Sounds just to drop a little bit deeper, just to try and give them a bit more support in midfield. But the ball does go all the way through towards City goalkeeper Edison. Under no pressure though. It's now with Rodrigo here for Man City, plays it square to De Bruyne. He plays it back to Laporte, and now here's some space for De Bruyne again down that left-hand side. He plays a ball over the top, which deflects out for a throw. He leaves it here for Zinchenko. The distance, Zinchenko and De Bruyne, but that's 11 and 17. They are pretty similar from a long way away. Just got to make sure that we see who has the captain's armband. Of course, De Bruyne captaining the side this evening, and his side moving forward again down the right-hand side this time with Kyle Walker running into Jordan Amavi. Puts it out for a throw just before the corner flag down the right-hand side. Walker gets this ball out. Well, he tried to get it towards Gundogan, but that is cut out by Q-Sounds. Now a chance here for Marseille to go forward, but didn't even get a chance to finish those words. And the home side are caught in possession. Thauvin it was who lost the ball this time. It's with Zinchenko out to Foden, left-hand edge of the penalty area. Foden with two players on him, has to go back to Zinchenko. His cross gets a deflection. It might still get through to Ferran Torres. It's played away towards the edge of the area, still kept alive by Manchester City. It's now with Walker out towards Sterling, right-hand edge of the penalty area. Sterling breaking into the box, and it's a lovely bit of skill here from Sterling. Now he lays it off for De Bruyne, whose strike was straight into a whole wall of players in white Marseille shirts, and now the home side get the ball away towards the halfway line. Picked up here by Radionic, trying to turn away from trouble. Now it's Thauvin. Thauvin runs straight into three players there. He feels as though he might have been brought down. I think the referee probably going to agree with that one as well. See Thauvin just running into problems there. I'm seeing another replay of that lovely bit of skill there from Raheem Sterling. Then we laid it off towards De Bruyne, because all those players had followed Sterling into the box. When that ball went to De Bruyne, he just had nowhere to place that shot really, and in the end the ball was charged down. But Marseille now in possession on the halfway line. The ball flicked over the top, and now a bit of a slip from Rodrigo, so a chance here still for Marseille to keep the ball alive. There's a goal in Group C here for Manchester City, to tell you about in just a moment as well. In the meantime, the home side are on the attack down the left-hand side. Ball now picked up by Rongier. His cross is headed away by Zinchenko. Ball is now back on the half line. I can tell you that Porto have taken an early lead against Olympiacos through Vieira, but now it's a chance here for City as De Bruyne gets that ball from Foden at the edge of the area. A bit of a heavy touch from the Belgian. I don't say that very often, but he does lose the ball, and it is now back on the halfway line, but Marseille lose it just as quickly. And here is Zinchenko now bringing the ball forward. That's not a good ball to his captain though. It's a slide tackle there from Sakai. Gets the ball away from De Bruyne, but he can still keep it alive, and he lays it off towards Phil Foden now, down the left-hand side. Foden playing it back towards the halfway line here for Laporte, and we've not seen the possession stats yet, but if I had to guess, I think it's probably about 75-25, and that might even be being quite generous here. City really are dominating at the start of this match, but they've not really had a dangerous shot for Mandanda to be concerned about, which is something that can be, which is a criticism that can be levelled at Manchester City more than occasionally. That for all the possession they create, they do sometimes struggle just to make that clear-cut chance, or when they make the chances, they don't always take them. But Gundogan's ball into the box is a good one here for Ferran Torres. He had his back to goal, gets it back to Gundogan under pressure, tries to keep the ball here for Manchester City. Now he lays it off for Rodrigo. It's Gundogan again, playing it square across to Zinchenko. Now it's with De Bruyne, left-hand edge of the penalty area. De Bruyne holds it up, plays it back to Zinchenko again. Now it's with Rodrigo across to Kyle Walker. Raheem Sterling now down the right-hand side. back to Walker. He then plays it square now to Laporte. And he heads towards the penalty area. Laporte to Foden. One touch to De Bruyne. Back to Foden. Now it's with Rodrigo. Around 25 yards out. He tries an angled ball into the penalty area looking for Sterling. I mean, that ball was pretty much going out, but Sterling pretty much made contact with it on the line. It's a bit too quick for Raheem Sterling, really, but he slid in to try and keep it in play. Couldn't manage it in the end. The ball goes out for a goal kick. Certainly promising signs here from Manchester City early on. And certainly Marseille with a lot to think about in terms of how they're going to be able to keep hold of the ball if this is what we've seen so far in the first nearly 15 minutes. So at the Orange Velodrome, it is goalless between Marseille and Manchester City, but the visitors are doing all the early running, and they've had a couple of half chances already, including a strike from Phil Foden down the left-hand side just now, which was straight at Steven Mandanda. Other than that, City have struggled really to get shots away on goal, although they've had a lot of promising build-up down the left-hand side with Zinchenko and Foden, and down the right with Sterling and with Walker. It's Ferran Torres who's playing through the middle for Manchester City this evening. At the other end, there's been absolutely nothing for Ederson to be concerned about at all. Marseille have struggled to keep the ball anywhere past the halfway line so far. So City certainly doing all of the early dictating, but they just need to get that one dangerous shot on goal. It's 0-0. And as I was giving us that up there, I just mentioned that there was a strike from Phil Foden. It was pretty much straight at the goalkeeper, though. No problems for Mandanda with that one. It is Manchester City back in possession now on the halfway line here with Kyle Walker. Rolls the ball across now towards Diaz. He's now on the right-hand side here with Gundogan. So the visitors looking to try and get forward again. Ferran Torres is having to track back a little bit. Hasn't been able to get that ball across to the right-hand side. City tried down the left now. It's with Zinchenko who gets the ball to Sterling at the edge of the area. He was just surrounded by players. I mean, that's what you have to give some credit to Marseille there. Although they're not able to trouble City in terms of possession, at least they're making it very difficult for City anywhere near their penalty area. City are doing okay to get to the box, but once they get into the penalty area, there really is very little space for any City player to do anything. It's just a question of whether Marseille can withstand that for the entire match, and of course whether or not they can have some sort of outlet themselves at some stage to try and go on the attack. But here comes City again down the right-hand side. Ball across from Gundogan is just a little bit too quick for Phil Foden, but it's still picked up on the left-hand side. The goalkeeper misses it as he dives for it. Then there's a bit of a scramble for it before Marseille somehow get the ball away. And it's played up towards the halfway line now. Running away with this one is Jordan